Right now, the trial of Darrell Brooks gets underway despite more disruptions from the defendant. Also, Brittany Griner's wife speaks out in her first interview since the WNBA star was sentenced to prison in Russia. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Hain. We begin with the trial of Darrell Brooks, where today opening statements are scheduled to begin. Brooks is accused of killing 6 people and injuring dozens during the 2021 Waukesha Christmas parade. Today, Brooks continued to be disruptive in court, as he's done since jury selection, leading the judge Jennifer Doro to move him into a separate room. Once in the other room, Brooks then took off his shirt while continuing to yell and gesture. Despite Brooks's actions this morning, prosecutors argue they still believe Brooks is mentally stable and fit to stand trial based on court documents he's filed and phone calls he's made from jail, which have all been recorded. You can watch the trial on channel3000.com and on the Channel 3000 Plus streaming app. A fire at the Maple Tree restaurant caused significant damage, forcing the building to shut down for an unknown period of time. Fire officials say they responded to the restaurant at the corner of U.S. Highway 51 and Burma Road around 5:20 p.m. yesterday. When fire crews arrived, they saw flames coming from the roof above the kitchen area. The damage stretched beyond the kitchen and into the dining room, forcing the restaurant to close until repairs can be made. A damage estimate has not yet been made. A green alert for a veteran from Monona is currently in effect. Madison police are looking for 32-year-old Zachary Bigelow. He's a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. Bigelow is 6 feet tall, weighs around 208 pounds. Police believe he may be driving a red 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse with Wisconsin license plate number 873ZLD. If you see him, please call Madison Police. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at your certified most accurate forecast, waiting for those temps to drop.
Yeah, right now the winds have turned, so the front has come through Madison area. We got a few showers, but we're still tracking that front. You can kind of see on satellite the winds ahead of it, but the winds behind it. We've started to turn the winds to the north here at Madison. There's a very thin line of showers as it progresses to the southeast, but most of the area now is going to stay dry as it actually continues to push into northern Illinois. You can see there on a radar right now, just a few showers. A few areas had maybe less than a tenth earlier this morning with it, but that's really not going to be the main story. You see Futurecast shows most of the action is going to be to the east and south of Madison through the afternoon hours. The winds really are going to be the story for this afternoon. They're already gusting in the 20s, near 30 behind the front, and that goes all the way up to northern Minnesota, so you have a very cold air beginning to push into the area. Temperatures right now, these probably are the highs that you're going to see for this afternoon. They will start to fall. So right now, 70 in Janesville, but if you get behind the front, you're going to the upper 50s. As we zoom into Dane County right now, we're sitting at 60 degrees, but up to the north 57. So we will drop into the upper 50s here this afternoon. And that's kind of what looking ahead right now. The winds are 12 miles per hour. They will start to increase to 15 to 20 with some gusts of 30 as our temps continue to fall to the upper 50s by this evening. So that is setting the stage for a chilly tomorrow, so I'll have more details on that. And, of course, the growing season probably will be coming to an end soon.
Yeah, big change from the first part of this week. Greg, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. At least 37 people are dead after a mass shooting and stabbing attack at a daycare center in Thailand. Witnesses say a 34-year-old man opened fire on the daycare, then realizing his child wasn't there. Authorities say he then headed for home, running a woman off the road and still firing from his car as he fled. Officials say he then killed his wife and child before taking his own life. Authorities identified the attacker as an ex-police officer who was fired last year for alleged drug use. The war in Ukraine has reached a pivotal moment. Ukraine's military has taken back strategic areas from the Russians. Overnight, 7 rockets slammed into a residential neighborhood, but Ukrainian forces continue to reclaim territory in the eastern Donbas region. The U.S. deployed its international development chief to Ukraine today. That's the highest-ranking American official to visit the country since Russia recently annexed 4 regions. And it looks like the U.S. intelligence believes Ukraine may have had something to do with a car bombing that killed the daughter of a prominent Russian political figure. She was killed in August after a bomb planted in her father's car exploded while she was driving it. U.S. officials believe her father was the intended target. Russia had accused Ukrainian nationals of being responsible for the bombing, but Ukraine has strongly denied the allegation. The wife of Brittany Griner is speaking out for the first time since the WNBA superstar was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison for drug possession back in August. Sherelle Griner sat down exclusively with CBS Morning's co-host Gayle King and shared painful details of the two conversations she's been able to have with Brittany. Elise Preston reports from New York.
It just seems like my wife is a hostage.
Sherelle Griner sat down with CBS Morning's co-host Gayle King, speaking out for the first time since her wife, WNBA star Brittany Griner, was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison.
I say she's strong because how are you still standing? Like, how are you still alive going through this?
Griner's conviction came after authorities found less than a gram of cannabis oil in her possession at a Moscow airport in February. She has a prescription for medical cannabis in her home state, Arizona, to help manage chronic pain. Sherelle says she was optimistic after their first phone call, but not after the second call.
The minute I hung up, I think I cried for about 2-3 days straight. You know, if you think about just a person suffering and when they have suffered to a max, like you could hear that like she was at the max that day.
Sherelle, who calls her wife BG, says she fears what will happen if Brittany is not released before an October 25th appeal hearing.
BG's now in the position where she could be moved to a labor camp.
A recent meeting at the White House reassured her that President Biden is fighting to bring Brittany home.
He's doing what he can, but there's another party in this situation, and we also are dealing with the need for Russia to have mercy on BG as well.
The White House says it's urging Russia to accept the, quote, substantial offer the U.S. has laid on the table or make a serious counteroffer. Elise Preston, CBS News.
And Griner had been playing professional basketball in Russia since 2014. No amount of marijuana is legal in that country. Well, nearly a year after a tragic shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust in New Mexico, the film's production will move forward. The news comes after actor Alec Baldwin and fellow producers reached a settlement with Hutchins' family. As part of the terms, Matthew Hutchins, Helena's husband, will now be an executive producer on the film. Baldwin still is under criminal investigation since he was the one holding the gun when it discharged a live round, but he continues to deny claims of any wrongdoing. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Gas and Ford pickup truck prices are going up. What's causing the hikes? Coming up in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Did you know Tim Michaels said people shouldn't be openly gay in public?
But I think when you bring it out of your house and onto the public street, that's where I differ.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
It's our biggest sale of the year.
And you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
And help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
A lot of Medicare health plans have benefits that are specific to your county. So why would you call a national 1-800 number when your local Medicare plans have all the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better?
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
Mandela Barnes is spreading a lot more than just peanut butter. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes on his Milwaukee condo, bought with family money. While not paying property taxes, Barnes bought a second condo, went to Vegas, even sat courtside for a Bucks game. Asked about his unpaid taxes, Barnes said,
It's Juneteenth. Hey, it's Juneteenth. They want to talk about property tax.
Now Barnes wants to talk about peanut butter. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original window. Boom.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
No one
one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
It's our biggest sale of the year.
And you can save big
On quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
OPEC plus energy ministers meeting in Vienna announced plans to cut oil production by a larger than expected 2 million barrels a day starting next month. The group's first big supply cut since 2020 could affect the global economy and raise prices at the gas pump. The White House said President Biden considered the efforts to cut output short-sighted, citing the impact of Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Ford Motor says rising manufacturing costs are prompting it to raise the base price of its electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck by $5,000 to just under $52,000. A Ford spokesperson tells CBS News that the move is due to ongoing supply chain constraints, rising material costs, and other market factors. Customers who've already pre-ordered the 2023 F-150 won't be affected by the price hike. A Colorado baker who won a partial Supreme Court victory after refusing to make a gay couple's wedding cake a decade ago on religious grounds is challenging a separate ruling. A lawyer for Jack Phillips urged Colorado's appeals court to overturn the decision that found he violated the state's anti-discrimination law by refusing to make a birthday cake celebrating a gender transition. At trial last year, Phillips testified he did not think someone could change genders and he would not celebrate somebody who thinks that they can. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman.
Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 158 points. The NASDAQ off 20. And the S&P 500 is, well, it's gone. Let's have some breaking news for you now. Baraboo police arrested 3 men last night after another male reported he and the passenger in his vehicle were unwillingly forced out of their car. Police say it happened in the 1100 block of Tandem Trail around 10:30 last night. The victim told police the suspect used a torch-like device, but authorities didn't elaborate on the circumstances leading up to or surrounding the incident. Social media posts reviewed by law enforcement seem to back up the victim's claims. Police are referring charges of second-degree recklessly endangering safety, disorderly conduct, and false imprisonment for all 3 men. Well, temperatures are cooling down, and Greg has the latest. We'll also share today's egg prices next, and then later we sit down with local attorney Jessa Nicholson, who breaks down what we've seen in the Darrell Brooks trial so far and how the judge could handle his erratic behavior. That's today on Live at 4.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store today and get ultimate discounts. Clearance items are up to 78% off. Plus, get a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
Reducing prison populations is now sexy. Reducing prison populations is now sexy.
Sexy? Mandela Barnes' administration has released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists. That's not sexy. It's terrifying. And as a mother, I don't want Mandela Barnes anywhere near the Senate. From defunding our police to releasing predators, Mandela Barnes is a threat to Wisconsin families.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
With Dad's arthritis, he needs extra help around the house, so I called a Grace. Yes, a Grace. With their agent home service, he can stay at home.
That's where I want to spend these months. With hospice care from a Grace, I can stay home with my dog and my grandkids and their laughter.
I had no idea laughter could be a part of my life again after Joe died. But through a Grace, I found hope and healing.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Mass shootings, school shootings, and violent crime are on the rise, and Ron Johnson is making things worse. He abandoned law enforcement, voting against funding for the police, preventing local departments from hiring more officers, but supported flooding our streets with guns and making it easier for violent criminals and domestic abusers to get them. Ron Johnson is failing to keep us safe. Everytown for Gun Safety Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store and get the ultimate mattress discounts. Get 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, buy any Tempur-Pedic mattress and get $300 in free furniture. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, we're throwing it all the way back. There I go, right there in the corner. Don't ask me what hairstyle I have. We've got the hilarious Hassan Minhaj.
That's a little zoom in right there. A little Indian Steve Harvey.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Roll up your sleeves. A News 3 Now This Morning competition to take on Culver's Kurterberger.
3, 2, 1.
Plus, how you can prepare for a freeze. Join us tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report continues her visit to the World Dairy Expo, so here are your farm numbers. Costing more this year. Scott McFarlane explains how a number of challenges are driving prices up.
Baron Shaw runs a family farm and apple orchard in York County, Pennsylvania. They got its start in 1841. So it's striking to hear Shaw say he's facing challenges this year unlike any year before.
How stressful is that for you to try to get through your business and through the week?
Inflation makes it very stressful. I mean, the fuel prices, the energy costs, all of it is going up.
Unlike so many other items in the produce aisle that benefit from automated farming practices, apples are picked by hand. Shaw says they can't find domestic workers for this intensely physical job. The industry relies heavily on international migrant laborers using H-2A visas. Their wages are set by the federal government and vary state by state.
Every year that price goes up, and we don't have a whole lot of say in that.
Shaw saw the wage for H-2A workers increase 10% from last year, up to $15.78 an hour. And across the country, H-2A wages have been going up 5 to 10% every year. Apples on average cost 6% more this year. But that's not all because of labor. In fact, most farmers aren't seeing more money in their pockets. So it's inflation that's causing some of the industry's biggest customers to see the most dramatic effects.
You need 2,000 apples a day.
A day to meet our needs.
In Montgomery County, Maryland, this is the first year ever public schools won't be able to serve a fresh, seasonal apple for lunch. Local apples this fall cost them 3 times as much. They'll have to stick with cheaper, pre-packaged slices instead. Less apple for each child.
How important is an apple to a kid?
Apples are our #1 fresh fruit that our kids love.
For farmers like Baron Shaw to weather this economic storm, they're trying to lure you to buy at the apple orchard itself this fall to cut out the middlemen. They can offer a lower price and land a bigger profit if you pick it off the trees than off a grocery store shelf.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
And for your local apple orchard, that could be the tipping point.
Some orchards somewhere in America, they can't sell directly to people on their farm. They're going to go out of business.
It's very, very possible, yes. These businesses really are not sustainable unless they're profitable.
I'm Scott McFarlane in Stewartstown, Pennsylvania.
And the U.S. Apple Industry Association estimates total labor costs have spiked 30% this year. It's going to be a chilly end of the work week. Greg has the latest forecast.
Yeah, especially if you want to pick apples today. It's going to be a little breezy, too, and chilly, especially even tomorrow. So
Over the last 24 hours, we've seen this low that we mentioned yesterday has progressed eastward. That provided a little bit of shower activity. And then behind you can see the cold front coming sweeping through, now positioned just south of Madison. You can see temperatures right now behind it, ahead of it, almost 70 degrees. In Chicago, you get up to International Falls. Behind it, we're sitting into the mid-40s, and they're not going to climb much. So that is the story, along with the wind behind it coming across right now. So you see right now the temperature change right now, dramatic change. You go further north, we're up to 26 degrees difference in Fargo, North Dakota, even as we get that. So that's the air that's actually coming our direction, and we're going to see that temperature change really tomorrow, but temperatures this afternoon will continue to fall. So Futurecast shows really just wind and some clouds that will be the main issue this afternoon and evening. Otherwise, shower activity should be to the south and east of us, and then overnight we'll see the winds continue to be strong, but not as strong during the day. And then by tomorrow, we'll see winds starting to light up a little bit, but still the cold air will be in place. And by Saturday, you can see the winds start to turn back to the west. That's a sign that we will start to warm up just a tad as we go into the weekend right now. So Futurecast shows that showers pushing east. Madison eastward and south probably could see a shower or two this afternoon. Otherwise, most areas are just going to see the wind and some clouds. That'll be the main story. Temperatures fall back to 8 o'clock or go back around 50 with even 40s and upper 40s as you get to the north by 8 p.m. By midnight, we're still looking at 2 a.m. We're still looking at winds out of the north, but temperatures will fall back into the low 30s, mid 40s in some certain areas. But as you wake up tomorrow, there actually might be a little bit of a wind chill because we still have winds about 10 miles per hour going on at the time. Then tomorrow we'll see the winds die down, a few clouds in the afternoon because of all the cold air. But you notice these temperatures by the time we get to afternoon, we're only looking in the upper 40s to near 50, which once again, average temperature for this time of year is around the mid 60s. So a good 15-degree drop, what we should be. And then that sets the stage for tomorrow night, when the winds will even die down and the temps fall off. So winds today, we're still looking at gusts near 30. This will be the trend all afternoon. By the time we get to 9 p.m., we still got winds above the teens, and then overnight still some gust in the 15, 30-mile range. So something to keep in mind that we'll still have some winds overnight, so it will be still quite chilly even tomorrow morning with the wind chill. So if you look at the 10-day right now, temperatures drop off, but we do mild up a little bit up to the upper 50s to near mid-60s by Sunday, and then we have another system coming in for Tuesday, Wednesday that we should warm us back up to the upper 60s with the next chance of rain. But that frost, that Saturday morning is definitely going to be the coldest air we've seen this year, so upper 20s probably for many areas. So frost or hard freeze is definitely going to happen come Saturday morning.
I had the windows open all week. That's come to an end.
Don't leave them open tonight or tomorrow.
Come to an end. All right, Greg, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Howard is feeling a little nostalgic in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Hayrides, apple picking, and pumpkin carving. It's a busy day in the test kitchen as we take a walk down memory lane.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new mattress from Steinhoffels. Right now, save up to $800 on Beautyrest adjustable base sets. Queen mattresses start at just $449. Upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beautyrest Black and get $200 in Steinhoffels cash. Plus, get a $100 MasterCard rewards card when you make a $29.99 mattress purchase with our Steinhoffels 60-month 0% financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Fall means different things to different people, depending on where they grew up. I'm from upstate New York, where the fall includes lots of apple picking, hay rides down country roads, and a trip to a pumpkin patch to find just the right pumpkin. Whether you have similar memories or not, you can still enjoy the flavors of fall by whipping up a batch of our Hayride pumpkin squares. We start by combining some flour, salt, baking powder and baking soda, cinnamon, and nutmeg. After it's mixed, in another large bowl, we beat together some canned pumpkin, eggs, a good amount of sugar, vegetable oil, and a splash of vanilla. Now we add our dry ingredients to this, mixing it until it's smooth. Then into a baking dish it goes before popping it in the oven. While this bakes, don't be surprised if your neighbors stop by to see what smells so darn good. You can bet they'll stick around for a piece or two. To get the recipe for what we call our Hayride pumpkin squares, just head over to our website. Maybe put on your favorite flannel shirt to get you in the mood. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a sweet and cozy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And it's time to introduce you to our pet of the week. It's pumpkin season, and Dane County Humane Society is excited to introduce you to Pumpkin Spice. He's an adult dog who loves playing fetch and chewing on Kong toys, but stuffed toys? Nuh-uh, not a good idea. Pumpkin Spice also enjoys belly rubs and playing with other dogs. He tends to be quiet and does well in crates. He's looking for a family who will give him a good amount of exercise and take him on adventures. Pumpkin Spice's adoption fee has been reduced, and right now he's staying with a foster family, so call the Humane Society if you'd like to set up an appointment to meet Pumpkin Spice. Well, looking for a Halloween costume for your pet? Stop by the Humane Society's on Watts Road in Madison to get the best selection. The thrift store there also hosting a Halloween event this Saturday from 11 to 7. Bring your furry friend to snap some spooky photos in the Halloween photo booth. All pets must remain leashed at the store. For more details, visit the Dane County Humane Society's thrift store's Facebook page. Last week's pet, Orla, Shisha, and Aoife, the rabbits, are still available for adoption. While they are siblings, they don't need to be adopted together. So if you're interested in adopting Pumpkin Spice or checking out all the other animals at the Dane County Humane Society, go to giveshelter.org. And Greg has a final look at the forecast.
Yeah, as we look at, we have a few showers out there this afternoon and this evening, but most areas will remain dry. Really, it's going to be the winds, going to be the main story in the falling temperatures. So that's the main things to know. Falling temperatures, everyone will see that. A few showers this afternoon. Most areas will stay dry, and those winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour with higher gusts through this evening. And it's going to get colder this weekend. And don't forget, as we get towards the end, the coats for kids.
All right, we'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.